goodness. Keep jamming while I fix this. Fucking A. What is the problem here? Hello? Listen, there's always an issue. There's always something. There's always something. Let me see. Cool. Nothing's happening. Let's see. Maybe I can. Come on, autofocus. Do your job. What the frig, man? Ugh! This is so annoying. Yeah, Israel messed up my camera. I don't know why it's fucking doing this. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Focus is all the way. Let's see. Let's give that a second. Come on now. Come on now. Nope, that's not it. Let's try this. Oh, nothing. Cool. Great. Great, great. It's just getting worse. It feels like it's just getting worse. Oh, hang on. Everyone hold, everyone hold. We are figuring this out. I don't understand what's happening. Everything was literally fine before we started. Cool, great, awesome. You're just not gonna work? You're just not gonna work? Okay, cool. Let's then delete this. Everybody hold, everybody hold. And let's try to re-add it. We're gonna try to add a new, let's put some music on while I do this. Here. Hey, okay. Now just let me fix the fucking lighting. Because I look insane. This looks like ass. Why does it look like ass? Why do we look like ass tonight? Y'all were here last night. It did not look like this. I have changed nothing. I have changed fucking nothing. This is so annoying. But for this, I'm just getting fucking pale. What in the F is going on? Yeah, wicked sunburn. Whoa! 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 Like, who is this? And who is this? It's no one I know. This? Ah! That's a little bit better. We're getting there. Don't like that vibe. Turn this down a little bit. This is the new DJing. Do you guys like it? Can I get a little bit of that? No? We're good on the focus. No. Okay. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it. That is as close as we're going to get tonight. Hi, everyone. I haven't seen much, but every intro music heard this far has been a bop. Well, good. I'm so glad. Hi, everybody. Oh, here, you guys don't need to see all my clothing. If you don't know, I film in in what we call a walk-in closet. It's an extra room we turned into our walk-in closet because we are lesbians without children. So we do what we want. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special Tuesday night broadcast. Wow, I still just do not know the days of the week since the holidays. No day feels like the day it actually is. I genuinely don't know. But today is Tuesday. We have less than 6 days until H3 comes back. Isn't that exciting? Athena survived her second day of class. We love that. Oh, damn. Hopefully things are looking up for you, girly. If you missed it last night, we had a lot of fun with the Gwammies. Nope, the Soapies. The Gwammies. Someone asked about why I didn't call it that, which is why it was on my mind. And it's because in case we want to do something more broad, like a broader awards show that isn't just about Discord, I want to save the Gwammies for something bigger, just in case. But we had a ton of fun on the Soapies last night. That was a small piece of the show. Then we did a bunch of other fun stuff. Athena was one of our winners, right? Athena won, Oct won, Ham and Josie and Lucy won. Everybody has been talking about Lucy's win. Hasan is an Asmon chatter now? No, I didn't see that. I actually was a little bit late because I got sucked into prepping about Hasan's comments about Iran. So that's why we're here. Oh yes, we had more picks of the double winner. So lots of people won. If you want to join the Discord, it is totally free. Feel free to hop in there. The mods will spam the Discord link for you to use. There it is. Deej is so reliable. Shout out. There we go. Okay. So I mean, let's just start the show now that we are not looking insane. Great. Okay, so tonight we have a tight little fuckable stream. Just a couple of topics, although we will kind of spiral on the Hasan stuff to talk about Iran. But then afterwards, we are going to be, if you're a member, you are getting the conclusion of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? It is a doozy. It is very special. It is nothing that you have seen or heard before in this series, and hopefully not ever in your life. You are going to be getting a first-person look into the mind of who the F did I marry. So if you're not a member yet, today is the day. Today is the day to do it, to pull the trigger, because you're going to want to be in that chat, is all I'm going to say. Because anyone who has seen what I'm going to show you has been completely flabbergasted. So that is what we're up to after this stream. So make sure you stick around if you're a member. We will have no shows tomorrow and Thursday. I am so sorry. We have a hockey game tomorrow night. And then Thursday, how cute is this? My niece and nephew have museum night at their school where all of their art projects so far from the year are up. They do them like at different times throughout the year. Like all of their creative projects are up in the whole school. Like the whole school becomes a museum, and I have been dying to go to one, and Thursday night is the first one, so we're going to go to that. And then Friday we will have a supersized final stream without H3, and that'll be Friday night. And of course we'll be doing origami to add to my bucket of cranes that I've been folding nonstop to keep up with everyone who is participating in the Winter Reading Challenge, which is also on Discord and is open to everyone. So there's lots going on in the Discord. There's also more to come. We have a big announcement coming on Friday. Something that the mods have been cooking up, and I am just so excited for. And today we can announce that there is now officially a women's sports channel on Discord. This is obviously something I am very interested in. And Deej has set up an RSS feed, so you'll get regular updates on women's sports that can spur conversations. So if it's something you've been interested in, if you already are a huge fan, even if you don't know if you like any kind of sports, but you like hot women doing cool stuff and being strong and athletic, might be a great channel for you to check out. So yeah, check out the women's sports channel. Okay, so let's get into it. It looks like I have here, we're going to kick it off with all the Hasan stuff. And then we are going to watch I don't know how far I'm going to get into it, some of the debate between Pearl Davis and Anna Kasparian. They were part of this big, like almost pro wrestling looking debate situation. I have some background on the guy who started these debates. Of course, he's a scumbag. And obviously there's like the viral clip of Pearl just totally shutting down during the debate. But I want to see what else was talked about, because I have not seen people watching much of the debate. And so I figure we can chat about it. I think it'll probably bring up a lot of good conversation and also chances to dunk on Pearl. And don't we love that? And so that's how we're going to round it out. And then, like I said, we will switch over to the members' content. I watched some of the debate and it was torture. Yeah, see, I couldn't do it. There are going to be times for the most part, I am a fan. I am pro pre-watching, because it gives you a chance to actually develop a deeper reaction, like a deeper opinion on the material. But there are some things that I simply do not want to waste my time watching twice. Like my psychic energy just can't. So yeah, that's coming at the end of the show. So make sure you stick around. But first up, apparently live stream fails, which is one of the, is live stream fails one of the channels that was writing against H3 with all the Hasan orbiter stuff? I can't remember if they got taken over by Snark too. I didn't think they did, but I don't remember. Live stream fail, which is a very popular subreddit, has apparently removed, although I've seen other copies of it, they apparently removed a video of Hutch, the political streamer, reacting to a very curious video of Hasan, in which Hasan appears to shock his dog Kaya again. If you can believe it. We have it happening for at least the second time, supposedly. And so this was apparently taken down, according to Yeet. This was taken off. Hang on. Okay. This was apparently taken off the sub. But here it is. Because guess what? The internet really is forever, and we know that. So here is Hutch reacting to it. Obviously, keep an eye on Kaya. You're going to see her do the same thing, but without the yelp. So has she gotten used to the collar? Is it on a different setting? Was him just reaching for the button enough for her to know that she was about to be injured? So she, placed herself. Let's speculate wildly. Here we go.
God, I can't believe the
All right, how's the volume? I got the volume up here.
protesters that are protesting.
There's the reach.
The protesters that are,
Because she's gotten up. God forbid, she has 2 feet off the cot. She has 2 feet off the cot. God forbid, right?
that are protesting against settler fairs that are taking place in a synagogue are actually the bad ones in this.
Guys.
So this was only, this was posted, the Hutch video was posted on Twitter today. And this video must have happened in the last couple of days, right? Because they're talking about, he's talking about the protest in New York City, where a bunch of pro-Hamas protesters, they weren't even pro-Palestinian, showed up outside of a synagogue and were chanting, "We support Hamas here." According to Hasan, the synagogue was doing like land deals for the West Bank, which, if true, also terribly fucked up, right? But the strategy of going and standing outside that synagogue and saying, "We love Hamas," was very fucking stupid, if so, right? Like a very dumb idea. And of course, everyone in Hasan's camp is pooping their pants that Soran Mamdani condemned that behavior when it's pretty It's a pretty easy slam dunk to be like, yeah, we shouldn't be promoting terrorism in New York City. All right, let's watch this again. Wait, does he go back? I think he might go back.
Are you shitting me?
And I don't think Hutch was not looking for this. I think he was just reacting to a clip of Hasan and noticed the weird behavior, the reach, and then the Kaya stuff. Hey, Kendra, thank you. Thank you for the, oh, that's not working. Thank you for the gifty. Cowgirl Princess is the new member. Welcome.
What did I just tell you about the hubris?
Yep, hubris is a word I often use for Hasan.
I wasn't even kidding. I didn't, I confess, I didn't suspect I would see it in this video.
Crazy.
Maybe he's got the vibrate collar on now. I don't know. I don't know.
He just doesn't give a shit, right? He doesn't care. I mean, he clearly put the collar in a different place and thinks maybe that will fool everybody if that's what's going on here, right? But he's just, I mean, nothing happened, right? He's just over it. He's just moving on and embracing it.
That is not even a little bit subtle.
Nope.
It's funny though. It's funny because
right, like he completely stops
against,
like he completely stops talking while he reaches for it. Yes, this is a new one. Here, I'll play it again.
God, I can't believe the protesters that are.
He notices she's up, and he reaches for it.
That are protesting against
hits something, and she immediately gets back on.
Settler fairs that are taking place in a synagogue are actually the bad ones in this.
Hey, Hasan, maybe they all suck. Like God, we're going to get into it, but he has just such like this black and white mentality that is so unhelpful. So fucking unhelpful.
Guys, are you shitting me? What did I just tell you about the hubris?
Yep.
I wasn't even kidding. I didn't. I confess, I didn't suspect I would see it in this video.
So this just was caught in the wild and has been removed from live stream fails.
Maybe he's got the vibrate collar on now. I don't know. I don't know.
Fucking crazy.
I don't know. That is not even a little bit subtle. It's funny though. It's funny because
like, dude, just
it's
say,
on the different side now.
That's what I said.
This is just purely headcanon, but you can kind of imagine like, okay, if I just switch sides.
Well, he thought his audience and the public were dumb enough to think he could just put electrical tape on the back of a shock collar and everyone would think it was not a shock collar, right? I think he thinks people in general are very, very stupid. So, yeah.
God, I can't believe the protest.
What do you guys think?
Protesters that are protesting against settler fairs that.
Like the fact that she goes back without him looking at her or anything. Seems weird to me. Seems weird to me. Wait, that was today? I'm not sure if it was today. I can never tell with his streams. It was posted, like this clip was posted today. It looks like somebody posted it today on Twitter and then Hutch was reacting to it. So it was definitely recent because they're talking about the protests outside the synagogue in, I think it was Brooklyn, I believe. But maybe I'm wrong. The background has the new painting. Okay. I don't follow Hasan closely enough to know what changes in his background. So if y'all know, I think he's accepted that the public knows he shocks his dog and he only cares about fooling his audience who are purposely blind. Yeah. But also this is kind of like and it's obviously a smaller version of it, right? A less insane version of, I could just shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and I wouldn't lose any voters, right? I can shock my dog a second time, very obviously, in my opinion, and I won't lose followers. Okay, but where are his Zins? Right. I was reaching for my Zins. Yeah, he sucks. He fucking sucks. And we're just gonna keep going on the Hasan sucks train because of course he has been just sinking his teeth into this Iran stuff, of course, with just the worst takes, right? You would think somebody who has spent 2 years advocating for the rights of Palestinians to stand up for themselves, to do anything they can to fight back against Israel by any means necessary, you would think that he would be supporting the massive uprising that's happening in Iran. But for some reason, he isn't. For some reason, he is siding with the fucking regime. And begging the U.S. to lift sanctions, which none of the protesters are talking about. Only the regime is talking about that and people who support the regime. Because you know where the money goes when the sanctions get lifted? It's not to the people. It's not to the protesters. Why would it go to the protesters when the government is shutting off their electricity, shutting off cell towers so they can't communicate with the outside world? Why would the government give them money? It doesn't make sense. One sec. Hang on, I just gotta like shock my dog really quickly. And I can't shock and talk at the same time.
Marks generated this shit.
I heard your cries.
Shot my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shot my dog until she drops. 2,000 volts straight in her top. Cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Yeah, got this remote on me like in my Glock. If Kaya try to move, she out of luck. She better know I don't give a fuck. She's getting off her place, she's getting struck. Gotta stay in that little place for 8 hours. She getting up, I can't allow her. She my Palestine, I got the power. I'm in my electric ivory tower. Why she act like such a baby? When I shock her, she go crazy. Making me look bad on the stream. Gonna hit her with my power beam. I don't know why that stupid dog G up. She should know
Awful,
better
I hate
not to
that
call
part.
for help. Cause you already know where my stream is. I do some shit that would get me banned. Don't you know how much money I spent? That dog costs more than your mama rent.
I bet he loves that part.
I got the most expensive breed. You know that's the one I need. That stupid dog is so spoiled. Yeah, one more time she getting boiled.
One more time, she getting boiled is
Look how
crazy.
cute we are.
Moving with my
Cutie patootie. Jeff making him watch this video was iconic.
Yes, I know.
dog to China. I'll eat her up, goodbye to Kaya.
Well, yeah, he is apparently, supposedly done it again. Yes, free Kaya.
Girl with a microphone licks toilet seats.
Look out, Taylor.
Oh, shit.
At Jessica Lavasayu just donated $1.99.
Look out,
Are we
Taylor.
all dancing? Fikaya.
Hell yeah, free Kaya. Thank you, Jessica Lee.
Give it up for Wham.
And thank you, Roni, for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. So, okay, so live stream fail apparently removed the clip of Hutch reacting to Hasan doing that. They also apparently took down this clip of Hasan, the clip of Hasan doing a racist Iranian accent making fun of a chatter, which I don't know if we talked about that last night. I think we did. But here it is again. The version that I was able to quickly pull up was fucking...
Give it up for
Unfortunately,
Wham!
Asmongold reacting to it, but we're just going to listen to the Hasan portion of it. So there's that. All right, so this is the other clip that apparently Livestream Fail has scrubbed from their site.
But like, you like Khomeini tweet when he responsible for killing so many people? Listen,
I don't think
You like Khomeini tweet when he responsible for killing so many people. So that is apparently someone in his chat, potentially an Iranian person, a Persian person, whose English isn't great. And he's talking about the fact that the Ayatollah Khomeini has killed thousands of protesters, jailed tens of thousands of protesters just in the last 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, right? And this is Hasan's reaction to this person.
this is out of context. How is this out of context?
sometimes you can find poetry in the strangest places.
Okay, immediately making fun of his English.
Yeah, Persian. I am Persian. I am Persian. I am not Iranian. Reza Pahlavi, he will return one day. We will bring back Savak. We will bring back Savak. We will put the Islamists. We will take all of their toenails. We will take all of their nails. We will pull them out one day.
What the fuck? This is a longer version than I have seen. So he's making fun of people. He's making fun of Iranians, making fun of Persians who would like the Islamic Republic to fall in Iran, that has been in power since 1979. And he's acting like they're the barbarians in this situation. Like they're the ones that are going to pull out people's toenails, when we literally have proof of the current government killing over, I think, around 2,000 or more protesters in the streets, and now they're setting up public executions as of this week. Like, this is something that has always driven me nuts about white leftists, specifically white straight leftists, white leftist men. They feel like because they're so arrogant about their politics that they feel like they are allowed to be racist, that they are allowed to make fun of other races, make fun of other ethnicities, make fun of people who speak other languages than them, because they know better. Like, I also saw bits of Hasan in a bunch of people's comment sections today, a bunch of black Democrats, like shitting on them and also kind of using AAVE while doing it. Be like, no, brother. Calling a black man brother is fucking crazy. But that's the kind of arrogance you get when you think that you are the smartest person in the room and God's gift to politics. And here we have again Hasan, the white man, making fun of a fucking Persian person's accent, an Iranian person's accent, and their accented English. He hates black leftists. He hates black Democrats. He hates black journalists. We've seen him go in about the root.com multiple times, and I still don't know why. He has a real problem with black activists, for sure. For iDubbbz, let's go. Black women specifically. Yeah, it's crazy. So he's been beefing with multiple smaller black creators this week, and now we have him doing this fucking weird racist Iranian accent, which we also heard Ian and Anissa doing earlier this month. So are they just like all getting together and making fun of the people who are happy about this uprising of people? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Shout out to my
Guamily?
Oh, good. it's
Guamily?
something.
Guamily.
Hey, 2-month member. And that's Hutch. Shout out to my fellow Minnesotans and shout out to the Gwamly for the goofs and gaffs. I love you so much. Donate to Minneapolis Mutual Aid if you can. Yes. On my Instagram, I have a bunch of different mutual aid orgs linked in the stories or like posted in my stories that people can donate to. Thank you, Deej. Okay, so yeah, he's just like making fun of these people. And then on top of him making fun of the suffering of these people, right? Which we've now seen him do. We saw him do it with China as well, right? We saw him make fun of and shit on somebody who has lived in China for almost a decade, saying that, talking about homosexuality and how it isn't technically illegal and people aren't being, killed for it, but it is really hard to be gay in China. We saw him doing that. We saw him shitting on a Chinese person, criticizing their government, and now we are seeing him shitting on
Always
an
hotter than Nick.
Iranian
That's right.
person shitting on their government. Or the government of their family, their ancestors, if they're not living in Iran, right? The only way it makes sense is if you look at it through what he calls campist mentality, which he seems to be saying other people do, not him. But literally, this is because he hates Israel so much, he now finds himself on the side of doing racist Persian accents. And also on the side of needing to pretend that Iran is way cooler and better than the United States. When I submit that both suck in different ways. So here is what he recently said, or this was just posted today. Ethan grabbed it for his stories, and so I'm sharing it from there. Okay. Play it. Oh, there we go. Duh.
The reality of the matter is, in the absence of
Spit it out.
if this government falls, it's fucking Syria. That's the reason why the people who take somewhat of a campus stance here are making that statement. Okay,
People who take a campus stance. You mean literally you? And also, it'll be Syria. The U.S. absolutely had a role in the horrors that took place in Syria, but so did Iran. Iran absolutely had a huge role in the deaths of over 300,000 citizens were killed. Millions, I think it was over 6 million refugees were created and displaced. Iran had a huge hand in that. So to act like Iran's super religious, theocratic, draconian regime collapsing would be a nightmare, but the same happening in the US or Israel wouldn't be? Nobody is more campist than this motherfucker. And like I've said, I think I said this yesterday or whenever we last talked about it, this is a fucking cop-out. This is an intellectually lazy cop-out. Because when he just says, I just hate Israel, and so everything that happens by people who also hate Israel, I'm cool with. By saying that, he has extracted himself, excused himself from thinking any further about those situations in any kind of nuanced way, right? Oh, well, I already have my answer. I am already clear on how I feel about this. Whew, thanks. Thank you, Iran. Thank you, Russia. Thank you, China. I don't have to have a nuanced take on this. I don't have to hold the suffering of millions of people in one hand and my, my wet dreams of communism in the other. That's what this is. This is what Republicans do, and this is why Republicans are successful, because they act like there are simple solutions to extremely complex problems and ideas. When in doubt, it's Israel's fault. And clean and simple, right? The genocide in Gaza is my red line. Nothing else matters. Well, isn't that fucking convenient? Doesn't that make it easy for you to just program yourself to not care about the suffering of millions of civilians? When you claim to be a socialist who is about the working class and the worker and workers' rights. It's just, it's a cop-out. It's intellectually lazy. He is doing exactly what the MAGA idiots do, which is just commit to one path and decide they're not thinking about anything else. It's because he's fucking stupid. He's a dumb person. Anyway, here's him being dumb.
That's it. America is obviously still far worse than the Iranian government, even in terms of like the economic, the dire economic situation.
He's like, we got to go to economics because I don't know anything else. I can't talk about anything else. I have to talk about the economics, which are also bad in Iran. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That Iranians are facing is also a direct consequence of American intervention.
There you go. And it's always America's fault. It's always Israel's fault. Very, very simple, very easy, right? Not complicated. I would say Hasan Piker is very well defined. You can predict exactly what he's going to say. He's going to get backed into a corner. He's going to try to lean on economics. He has like these very specific, like canned responses, these like well-worn neural pathways, these like logical, rhetorical pathways, right? That he relies on because he's fucking stupid. And he's uninterested in absorbing new information. So he's saying that America is just as bad as Iran.
So every Iranian that is in a state of disarray due to the real dropping in value to zero, or due to not having any sort of fucking, like, due to people not having any sort of commerce in the country.
Yeah, it's all about commerce, right, Hasan? It's all about commerce. Now, I'm going to say, and you know, if when I was putting this together, I was like, wow, this feels like deja vu, because I was just here doing this about China, right? Because he was doing the same shit about China of, the US is way worse than China. Everything's cool. Everyone's gay. There's fucking gay people everywhere doing gay stuff. Like, you guys are being lied to and gaslit, right? Oh, thank you.
I can already smell the nuts.
Oh, yeah, we got some new sounds on board for members and super chats. So, let's try to set a little goal here. I never remember to do this. All the colors. We'll do 15 minutes. We'll see what happens. And then I will love you. That's how we'll celebrate. Okay, so yeah, I was just here doing this. I was just here doing this about China, right? Where I was saying, you know, I did the whole thing on the H3 podcast where I went on and talked about how China sucks when it comes to gay people and trans people. And at the same time, there's the caveat of, yes, things are also bad here. So the same is true when it comes to Iran. America is a shithole right now. I am in no way saying America's the fucking best and Iran's just a bunch of fucking barbarians and they're disgusting and we're the best and America first and blah. No, America is terrible right now. It's always been pretty bad. Right now it is exceptionally bad, right? But my question is, by what metrics, Hasan, is America so much worse than Iran? By what metrics are we by far the worst? Because I don't understand how you can look at America and look at Iran, right? Iran, which has been led exclusively by religious zealots since 1979. They have had no free and fair elections since then. They have essentially removed half the population from public life. Women. How can you say that is better? To me, I think that both countries' governments are trash, but Iran is simply further down the trash pipeline since they're like 2 generations ahead of us with the religious extremism controlling everything. To me, it looks like Iran could be our future if we don't stop what Trump is doing and stop him from using fucking ICE to enact martial law and get a 3rd term and just consolidate power that way. Like, that's what I see. And I don't understand how you look at the mechanics of the US and you look at the mechanics of what's happened in Iran and not see the similarities. It's because you're not looking for them, because you are fucking biased. It's also easy for Hasan to say that the US is so much worse because he doesn't give a fuck about women. Hasan would be totally fine and successful and prosperous in Iran or in the US or in China, as we've discussed. So he doesn't have to really give a second thought to what he would consider the identity politics of women and girls being policed out of society and essentially having no agency in many situations. He doesn't have to care about that. A lot of good people still care about it, even though they don't have to, but for some reason he doesn't. So let's just look at this. Just a couple little things. So this is the Georgetown University's Women, Peace, and Security Index. And this measures, hang on one second. Let me go back to myself here and move my notes out so I can read them. Okay, so this measures, I think we actually have the description. Let me go down to the bottom here. We can look at this was done in this is 2025-26. So this is predicting for this year. The WPS index scores and ranks 181 countries on women's well-being, and it uses 13 indicators that span women's inclusion, justice, and security to generate scores from 0 to 1. So the closer you are to 1, the better. Denmark continues to lead the rankings while Afghanistan performs the worst. Now, what number do you think Iran is out of 181 on a scale that is measuring women's well-being? Lock in your answers. Lock in your answers, everyone. From 1 to 181, with Afghanistan being 181. $180, $176, $189, $175, $180, yeah, a lot of $180s, $179s, less than $50, 167. Let me see if we can see some more of them over here. 175, 179. Yes, higher is worse. $173, 6-7. Over 9,000. What does that mean? 6-7, 6-7. 180. All right, you guys think Iran is worse than it is, but it is still pretty bad. Oh, Dragon Ball Mune. I was like, what is that? Okay. Sorry, I'm not a nerd. Okay, so let's just look at it. And this was for this year, okay? So we've got the global north. We've got all of the Scandinavian countries. Shout out for them, always fucking kicking ass. We've got some more of Eastern Europe, Switzerland, Japan, France, United States, all the way down here. Already is fucking embarrassing, right? I think this is fucking embarrassing. There is no reason why we should be 31 on this index, but we're not even close to Iran, okay? We're in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Israel's all the way down here. China, worse than China. Okay, worse than China. Still going. Still going. Hasan's precious Turkey is here. We're still going. Venezuela is here. And tied at 128 with Libya and Namibia is Iran. 128 out of 181 on a scale that measures women's well-being, with 181 being the worst. Let's go into why that is. Let's talk about why they score so low. Where did my notes go? There they are. So let's look a little more closely, okay? So Khomeini, who is the Ayatollah, the supreme leader. Like, I'm sorry, if you have a supreme leader in your country, is it a Western thing to feel weirded out by that? The very bottom was Afghanistan. That was the last one. I don't know. To me, supreme leader seems strange, right? And, you know, a council of super religious men deciding who you can vote for also seems weird. You could argue that obviously the influence of money in politics in the US creates a similar situation. But again, I'm not here saying America good, Iran bad. That's Hasan doing the opposite, right? But let's just look at all of the shit that Hasan is overlooking when he says the US is way worse than Iran, okay? And you'll be shocked to find out it's all stuff. It's all stuff about women and girls because he doesn't give a fuck about women and girls. Okay? So, Khomeini, who is the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, before he was exiled and then came back, he actively campaigned to repeal women's voting rights, and he compared women voting to prostitution. Luckily, he is overruled, and women do have the right to vote in Iran, but that's bottom of the barrel. That is table stakes, right? But the fact that the person leading the country, who has been leading the country since 1979, remember how Hasan complained about Biden being old, right? This dude is fucking in his 80s. The fact that this dude just happened. Welcome. The fact that this guy compared women voting to prostitution. Super cool. All right, there's a whole section here about civil law in Iran that I want to read. So let me just pull this up. Okay, civil law. I'll show you guys this. Iranian's civil law system can be seen as very gender biased, with numerous laws that favor men over women and few, if any, laws favoring women. Now, hear this. Get a load of this. Iran follows Islamic laws. Under Iranian civil laws, when children reach puberty, they also gain penal responsibility and can legally be tried as an adult. This can be seen as disadvantageous to girls who reach puberty around the age of 10, whereas boys reach it around the age of 14. Based on what? Based on what? This means girls as young as 10 can be prosecuted criminally as adults. Punishments can vary from prison sentences to lashes and the death penalty. This is literally for children, girls as young as 10. On November 13th, November 2018, Iran's official news agency published a statement by the hiking board of a northeastern province that requires Iranian women to have permission from their husbands or fathers if they want to go hiking. In general, Iran forbids women from traveling without consent of her husband. According to Article 18 of the passport law passed in 1973, a husband can ban his wife from leaving the country. A woman is required by Iranian law to have the permission of her husband before she can leave the country or even obtain a passport. Women in Iran have little, if any, autonomy or rights compared to men in Iran. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the hijab, okay? Before 1979, wearing a hijab, a head covering, was not obligatory, was not compulsory in public. Women did what they wanted, right? And this is crazy. What I learned today when I was reading about it is that a bunch of
For wham.
welcome. Or is this a member? Hey, 2-month member. Oh my God, I'm such a hoe. Exactly. So apparently, during the revolution in which the Ayatollah was put into power, this like Islamist resolution, the Islamic Republic resolution, the women who were fighting for the Ayatollah to become the supreme leader, even like the leftist women started wearing hijabs as a sign of opposition. But they didn't expect, these fucking dumb idiots, they didn't expect that when the Ayatollah, this super, super extremist religious guy, became the leader, that hijabs would be mandatory. So all of these women, these leftist women.
Guamily.
2 months, yay! All of these leftist women who thought that the Ayatollah coming in and thought that having an authoritarian supreme leader was somehow going to be this amazing thing, found themselves all of a sudden having to wear fucking hijabs all the time. And they fought back against it. And they lost. The leftists got the Islamists in power, yeah. So the women tried to fight back and it didn't happen. Okay, so here are a couple recent stories about what the current Ayatollah, who Hasan apparently loves, has been doing related to women and the hijab. In August 2022, Iran introduced new restrictions on women's dress code. The new rules state that the female government employees will be fired if they post their pictures on social media which do not conform to Islamic laws, and women publishing their pictures without a hijab on the internet will be excluded from some social rights for up to a year. President Ibrahim Raisi announced the use of facial recognition technology in public transportation to impose new hijab laws. So using facial recognition to track and punish women. A few days later, a woman died in police custody after being arrested for not wearing the hijab properly, sparking a series of protests. So they killed a woman over a fucking hijab. In Iran, women are not allowed to ride bicycles, pursuant to an Islamic fatwa issued by the Ayatollah. The current supreme leader said women are not allowed to ride bicycles. And would you like to know why? If a man sees a woman riding a bicycle, it would lead to crimes including sexual offenses, financial crimes, spiritual infidelity, and religious disobedience. Because a bitch is on a bicycle. Let's keep going. In 2019, a female football fan was arrested for appearing in public without a hijab after she attempted to sneak into a football or soccer match dressed as a man. Because women at the time, and still, are forbidden from attending, forbidden from being in stadiums. They cannot go to soccer games or anything else. And after she was arrested, later in September, she set herself on fire outside of a Tehran court in protest. The Iranian government conceded to FIFA shortly thereafter, and on October 10th, more than 3,500 women, 3,500 women attended a World Cup qualifier, although they were confined to a roped-off area. And women are still barred from attending matches where one of the teams is not Iranian. In 2022, videos surfaced showing security guards. You're all gay for each other.
Atma.NASA26 is gay. I'd recommend you watch Persepolis. It's an animated movie about the Iranian Revolution that I watched in a film analysis class.
That sounds good.
It made me cry. Crying face emoji.
Thank you, Manasa. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Okay, in 2022, videos surfaced showing security guards in Iran pepper spraying women during a football match, despite them holding tickets. Furthermore, women journalists are banned from covering women's football matches inside stadiums in Iran. And it goes on and on and on. Like, you can look into this. It is all these ways that women have been just completely removed from society. They only hold like 2 to 3% of the roles in government, and despite outpacing men in education, which again is a problem here too, but not to the same degree. But Hasan can just ignore all of this. He has opted out of caring about all these people by just being like, Israel bad, America bad. He's just opted out. It's fucking lazy. It's intellectually lazy. It's unempathetic. It is emotionally stunted. And it's inhumane. He doesn't care because it doesn't affect him, and because it doesn't align with the narrative that he has decided to just be locked in on with his 2 brain cells. And it helps because he has never experienced true discrimination, right? He comes from money. He went to a great college. He has always had a silver spoon in his mouth. He has never had to deal with the constant day in, day out surveillance that women in any country experience, let alone when there are actual morality police dedicated and technology dedicated to policing women in a country, right? We are now getting to that point. But he doesn't care about the broken spirits and the economic immobility of women. He talks about the economics, but he doesn't mention that at all. That financially, women are chained to their fucking husbands in Iran. All that matters is Israel bad, America bad. And if he just sticks to that and keeps his horse blinders on, he doesn't have to, deal with any of this. He can just forgive countless crimes against women and girls. Again, girls as young as 10 being tried as adults. And almost certainly a lot of the time that those are crimes having to do with their bodies, their sexualities, their freedom of expression, all of that. What I don't understand is that according to Hasan, it's okay for Muslim extremists to subjugate people and murder dissidents and protesters. It's okay for Russians, like Russian extremists, to subjugate people and murder dissidents and protesters. But anyone else who does it should be removed from power. Silly me over here, I think all of those people should be removed from power. I don't think anybody should be allowed to do that. And I don't understand why Hasan and his ilk I don't understand how they're able to split hairs on human suffering like that. Like, I thought we were supposed to be for the worker and the uprising of the worker against oppression, right? It's just insane. It's just insane what he's able to ignore, what he's able to allow, what he's able to swallow and enable, all in the name of hating Israel and hating the United States. Which, to be clear, Israel and the US both deserve a lot of criticism. And yeah, you can hate them. But how do you look at what's happening in Iran and not see how it is similar to what Israel does in Gaza and similar to what the US is doing to its people now through ICE? And how can you not hate all of it? It makes no fucking sense to me. You are so silly, Graham. It's the Marxist ideology by any means necessary. But the Marxist ideology also includes religion being the opiate of the masses. So how is an Islamic republic that is crushing its people, specifically its women and children, its women and girls, under the thumb of extremist religion, how is that Marxist? How is that Marxist at all? All right, we're going to do just a final thing about, it's kind of related to Hasan. Apparently, Asmongold wants to sue a Hasan fan for defamation. Let me be clear up front. I have never watched anything from Asmongold. I am disgusted by what he had to say about Renee Good and her cold-blooded murder that we all fucking saw, right? But I do think this is interesting that that people are starting to push back on being accused of things that are not true about them, right? Specifically about being called a pedophile. Because I will say, I am so sick. I am so sick of both sides, but specifically the left, because I expect more from them. I am so sick of them calling everyone a pedophile, a Nazi, a genocide defender, anyone that they dislike or disagree with a little bit. They use these exaggerated terms, right? And these are things that can fucking ruin someone's life. So it's interesting to see a Zionist, right? And their definition of Zionist is like insane. And it's more of a conist. I want to do a whole thing about that, but that's not going to be tonight. So this is what Asmongold, he posted a little clip, and apparently this is about a Hasan fan, but I wasn't able to confirm that because their account is completely gone now. And I don't know if that's because they're scared of Asmongold potentially suing them, if they were harassed offline or what. But yeah, like I said, fuck Asmongold, fuck Hasan. I don't like either of them. We're just here for the fireworks, okay? We're just here to see what happens between a bunch of people that we don't like, okay? So here's what he had to say.
Basically, there's a post. This is a person. It's like saying, like, this is actually crazy to say about somebody, right? Crazy to say. I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm actually.
So this account, the 16th U.S. Pres, Abraham Lincoln parody account, which is now gone from Twitter, posted or reshared this image of Asmongold with a girlfriend he had back in the day, saying he was 33 and she was 17. Asmongold is a pedophile. And you're like, holy shit. That's really gross. And because we've been trained, right? We've been trained by the internet to just believe that when people are called out for being creeps, that they are creeps. We want to believe women. We want to do the right thing, right? We just say, ew. You kind of bank that this person is potentially a pedophile, even if you don't really know the situation, and you just put it away. Well, Asmongold is now saying that this girl was in her 20s. She was not 17. And that he is now thinking of suing this person for defamation.
Crazy to say about somebody, right? Crazy to say. I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm already in a lawsuit, right? I'm already in a lawsuit. I'm already regularly talking to lawyers. Maybe I should.
The lawsuit he's currently in is with Mizkif. Mizkif is suing him for defamation because I guess he was platforming Emiru when she came out about Mizkif allegedly being abusive to her. And Asmongold was, I guess, supporting her a lot. I don't know why Mizkif is targeting Asmongold with that. But yeah, he is suing both of them for defamation, which is so fucking stupid. Just very abuser behavior. So let's keep going here. And then we have the Lust video to watch. It's going to give us some context, which was interesting.
Should sue this guy.
So I'm going to have to give this a big context. Normally a post like this with 100,000 likes would be career-ending for most streamers. In 2024, Asmon did a couple of streams with Kaisi. She has been a streamer on Twitch since 2018 and an adult content creator for years, way before meeting Asmon.
Which means before she met him, way before she met him, she had to have been 18, right? Because she couldn't have been doing adult content if she wasn't. Not legitimately.
After a couple of months of streaming with Asmon, Kaisi posted this on Instagram with the caption,
"Happy birthday in advance to me who is 18 every year."
She also immediately pinned and hearted this other comment to avoid any confusion because, of course, the implications would be insane given she has posted adult content for years before this.
Right.
Implications.
So basically, she's saying I'm 18 every year as like a joke. Right? Like she's forever young. And apparently, according to Lust, we don't even need to watch the Lust video, but according to Lust, this is a pretty common Chinese idiom of like, you're always 18, like every birthday is 18 because you're youthful and, you know, like young at heart and all this shit, right? I'm 18 every year too. Exactly. So that's the background of this. And so what's happening is this Abe Lincoln person is using that video. This is how deep these people go on each other. It's just fucking insane. I mean, it started happening to me. The shit that people dig up and try to like cobble together is insane. I have been called a pedophile because of a short story I wrote about teenagers at a sleepover party. It was not smut. It was a fucking literary fiction story published by the Chicago Review of Books, right? So, like, these people are so fucking desperate to get each other and call each other pedophiles. Like, that is it. This culture, I think, has been bred by Destiny and Hasan, right? These like debate pervert guys, probably Asmongold too. All these other debatey asshole dudes who are just constantly calling each other pedophiles and finding reasons to call each other pedophiles. They're all just like pointing fingers at each other, trying to be like, who dated someone even younger than that? It's like, you're all gross. None of you are probably pedophiles until we learn otherwise, but you're all fucking gross. And that I do feeder content because I do mukbangs. I like to try different restaurants. So everything is put through this like very perverted QAnon lens of everybody's a pedophile, everybody's a pervert, unless I agree with them, right? We saw it happen with Cruel World Happy Mind calling Hila a pedophile, calling Ethan a groomer, pedo troll, like all this shit, right? Everybody know a pedophile. So that's what's happening here. Is he gonna sue? It's unclear, but let's just go to the end here where he finishes talking about it.
2,000 likes, about 122,000 got bullshit like that.
Oh, and it was also
yes.
apparently it was circulating on YouTube Drama as well, which, as we know, is not known for their honesty, and they are also known for trying to call everybody a pedophile, a pervert, a Nazi, a baby killer, a genocide lover, right? It's the same shit. And I'm just so fucking sick of it. And I don't know what will stop it. I don't want it to be lawsuits, but what else do these morons listen to? But actual like criminal retribution or legal retribution. What will stop these people from doing this? From interfering in people's personal lives, calling different government agencies on people. Like this goes so far beyond Ethan and Hila. This happens so much. And there are no laws governing any of it. So what recourse do people have? They're working overtime to minimize very serious words. Exactly. And they have no smoke for actual pedophiles. Like people are saying in the chat, James Charles is still hugely popular. Where are the YouTube Drama posts, like the constant posts about him? Yeah, imagine I see someone saying, imagine you're a child sexual abuse victim and you see everybody and their mom being called a fucking pedophile. How do you feel safe? How is your nervous system ever allowed to relax? Like I am sure that for some, it just causes this hypervigilance, right? It's just so gross.
Hasan Orbers, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Like it's so easy. It is so easy. We all manage it every day, right? It's so easy to just not accuse people of being a pedophile if you don't have fucking proof. If a victim hasn't told you, if you haven't seen something, right? It is just so easy. Just say you hate the person. Say you don't like them. Say you disagree with them. None of that means that they are a pedophile. Or any of the other, like, extreme terms these people are just slinging at each other. It's just so strange.
Why you'd make up bullshit like that. 122,000 likes about me being a pedophile. That's pretty crazy. And then you also have, by the way, the person blocked me. And I hate Asmongold, but what's the proof of any of this? Yeah, even people, we just make stuff up now. That's a serious accusation to tweet with no receipts. But you guys don't, by the way, I see some people saying the age of consent 17.
Fucking gross.
Listen, if you are my age, if your age starts with a 3, you don't need to be dealing with anybody that's 17, okay?
Based. Fuck Asmongold, but based.
I'll talk to my lawyers next time I have a meeting with them. Then I'll see kind of what their input is, right? It's so cringe to see something like that happen. But unfortunately, that's just reality.
What's also reality is that Honest Abe here is going to make money from this post. But oh, would you look at that? His account is fully verified. Do you have any idea how easy it is to subpoena a Twitter account? See you in court, Abe.
Uh-oh. Okay, so what is going to come of this? Lost apparently thinks this is like a slam dunk case, but from what we've learned of of Ethan talking about defamation cases over the years, specifically like with the Cav stuff. You have to be able to prove, in order to win, not necessarily to settle, you have to be able to prove that the person who is posting it or talking about it knew that it was untrue. Right? You have to be able to prove that you knew it was untrue, and you also have to have shown malicious intent to damage them financially. Yeah, Luss is a copyright writer, and he does this thing, and maybe it's because I only pay attention to him sometimes, like when he gets into the H3 stuff. He seems to go from like super legal information, and then he'll like dip into the drama for a while, and then I back out and I'm like, ugh, God, just stick to the stuff you know about, right? Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, Luss. There are so few trustworthy legal minds on YouTube right now. Especially because Emily D. Baker is like so busy and never fucking talks about anything I want her to be talking about. So he like, yeah, as the great T-Baw's Left Eye in Chile once said, don't go chasing one. What the fuck was I saying? I just like shook it out of my brain by doing that. Oh, but yeah, so I don't always, I take what Luss says now with a grain of salt. Specifically, and this is all I'm going to say about this. Specifically after he involved himself in the moderator stuff with H3, like with Ray being let go, and everything that's going on with that situation, which, let's remember, none of us know what the fuck is going on. None of us know what's happened behind the scenes. None of us should be shit-talking Ray or the show based on our information, which is this. And it is why I have not said anything about it. And I am only saying now that I think it's weird that Luss got involved in this. Okay? And that made me kind of stop watching his stuff when he waded into that for no reason, because there is no legal element to it, right? There really is no legal element that any of us are aware of. Nobody is in litigation with each other when it comes to that situation. So why the fuck is he getting involved? Because it's a hot topic, right? But it makes it hard to take the rest of his stuff seriously. So anyway, Luss is saying that he thinks this would be a slam dunk for Asmongold, that he would win this lawsuit. But based on what we've heard Ethan talk about as when he was trying to cover his ass with the Cav stuff, it's hard. It's hard to prove defamation. It is very hard to prove defamation, to a judge at least. I mean, you could certainly put the screws to someone and get a settlement, right, and get damages. But you have to at least prove that it's like a worthy suit, I believe. So yeah, I think Luss is just lonely. Aw. So yeah, I don't know if it would be a slam dunk case. I guess if it happens, we'll see. We'll see. We know, I mean, I had no idea until, last year when I first learned Asmongold's name from all this like Hasan and Ethan stuff. I had no idea that he was even like popular. I didn't even know who he was. And apparently he makes so much fucking money. So he can certainly afford to sue this person. But I don't know if he would win. I don't know if he'd win. I don't know if his lawyers would, if they would think that was a good idea, if they would advise him to go through with it. Someone said Rambar Nassim should be a YouTuber. I agree, because he is like so passionate. He is very, very passionate, and he gets really in depth when he talks about stuff. So I would watch the shit out of him. The gross yapping that goes on in other chats doesn't roll here. That's right. That is right. All right, so that's it for Hasan stuff, I think. Yeah, so who knows if the defamation suit will even happen, and if it does, I don't know. We would have to see. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, for this last bit of the show, we are going to watch as much of this debate as we can between Pearl Davis and Anna Kasparian. Pearl Davis, if you don't know, is an insufferable men's rights activist who, she's just so lost. She has some sort of a weird humiliation kink where she does not think that she deserves love and good things and respect. And so she just parades herself out to be trounced by women, men, the left, the right, anyone, any port in a storm for Pearl. And Anna Kasparian is from the Young Turks, which is a media company and show run by Anna and Hasan's uncle, Cenk. That's right. Hasan is a fucking Nepo baby. And I will say up front about debates, and then I'm going to grab a drink before we get into this. I personally hate the format of debates, especially the online kind. As a lesbian, I try not to get too much of my information from straight men, and it does seem like a sphere that is favored by and dominated by straight white men on both sides of the aisle. And because of that, or I think these men are attracted to the debate format because it can very easily be co-opted into these like pointless pissing contests full of just like gotchas and owning each other and like this extremely toxic male energy. It's never about moving the needle or educating people or coming to any kind of common ground and building on that, right? It is just about, it's just about winning and regurgitating the same talking points, the same rhetoric, right? The stuff. I mean, when you see Hasan talking and locking into those same grooves, that's because he was groomed by destiny to have these like rhetorical, like these canned rhetorical arguments that he could retreat into as one does in a debate, right? And all of this is done in front of an audience, so it feels very like gladiator-ish, right? These people just want you to like rip each other to shreds, and so you want to put it on a show more than you actually want to like persuade someone or find common ground. It's just about winning. I don't find them to be interesting or effective or even informative at all. It's just like thought experiments and circle jerking. And again, just so toxic. And because I'm always right, because I'm always right about debates, this new debate YouTube channel has popped up called World War Debate. And this debate is their first ever. This Pearl versus Anna Kasparian debate is their very first debate. Look at this shit. So stupid. Can we go theater mode? Yes. And like, why do we have this is the guy that like started it. This guy here. And I think that's him too. He's got a fucking Nazi head, doesn't he? So this is the guy that started it. And I just want to tell you a little bit something about him. Because of course, this is an extremely toxic environment right away, right? First of all, it looks like they're coming out and doing like a pro wrestling show. This does not look like a serious debate format at all. But so yeah, this is their first ever event in YouTube channel, YouTube video, and it was created by this blockhead, Ben Swan, who is a super toxic far right conspiracy theorist. He's like Alex Jones light. He's like, he wishes he was Alex Jones. And he actually used to work directly for RT, and RT might sound familiar because they are the Russian state media outlet that used to pay American right-wingers like Tim Pool. So that's where this guy comes from. During his time, Swan has furthered conspiracy theories about Sandy Hook, vaccines causing autism, Pizzagate, 9/11, like just the classics, the hits, right? And more concerning to me, the bigger red flag is that Ben Swan has been a youth pastor for 14 years. Someone needs to check on the children in those churches, the teenagers in those churches, I would think. Past and present. just a hunch based on data, right? So going into this, I'm not super optimistic about the quality of it. I'm not super optimistic about either of them doing well. I'm not an Anna Kasparian fan. And also, there's no one as pathetic as Pearl Davis. So I don't even know how much I'm going to be able to enjoy this. And as a result, I could not bring myself to watch it, even a little. I would like to psychically damage myself with this just one time. So we are going to see how far we get into it. I'm sure it will bring up plenty of stuff for us to chat about. We're going to do maybe like a half hour of this. I don't want to watch the whole thing. We'll see how far we get. But I'm going to go grab a water because I am parched. And we don't want a repeat of the laryngitis incident. So everyone grab a pee, grab a water, and meet me back here in like 2 minutes. Okay. Oh my God. I love when I perfectly time it. So reminder, right after this, we are going to redirect over to the members only stream, and it's a doozy. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a doozy. You're going to want to lock in. If you've wanted to meet Carol in a more direct way, tonight is the night. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here the fuck we go. God.
Ladies and gentlemen, this debate, our main card, has a little bit of a different format than what we did previously.
Oh, excuse me. It's boxing themed. Look at this fucking outfit. What an idiot. Oh, God, I hate
the
it.
opening statements for both of you. Those will be 5 minutes apiece. Then you'll
Blah, blah, blah. Just get to it. Okay, here we go.
And as
2024. I'm first.
I thought so. Anna, take it away. We got 5 minutes.
Poor Pearl. I'm sorry. Like, she's a rotten, terrible person, but my empathy, I'm just like, girl, there's something wrong with you.
May 2024 appearance on Tim Pool's Culture War podcast, my opponent, Pearl Davis, declared that women aren't really doing much. We're not having kids. We're not really contributing to the economy when you look at output. In fact, she uses this ridiculous assertion to argue that women should not have the right to vote. While it's true the birth rate has declined, and we'll revisit that in a bit, women account for 47% of the American workforce. The Council of Economic Advisors found that women have contributed a substantial portion of the US economic growth since 1970, which wouldn't have been made possible without the feminist movement. By 2017, women were responsible for nearly 40% of total gross domestic.
Damn, Pearl is fucking tall. How did they expect her to be that tall?
Product amounting to a whopping $7.6 trillion. Of course,
right,
that figure
let's
doesn't
just get
include the
into-
trillions of dollars in unpaid labor.
To the Holy National Veteran. Feminists have been so empowered.
All right, here we go.
We can discuss why, but feminism is not the reason.
There you go. Thank you. Nice job. Okay, Pearl, we got 5 minutes. You're going to be on the clock, and let's go.
Most debaters and commentators are elitists who tell average Americans from their ivory towers what to think and how to feel. My answer to this question not only comes from covering current events and researching the facts, data, and statistics, but also in my professional experience interviewing over 1,000 people in America and Western nations. Feminism has given women power, and power corrupts. And that's what's happening. Feminism is robbing men of their disposable income and their prime earning years.
What? How? They have this same stupid idea that if immigrants were disappeared and women stopped working, that men could have all the jobs. It's just not fucking true.
Feminism has empowered women. It has empowered women to be sexually promiscuous. Feminists say that they fought for women to not subject themselves to the
She's looking old under that light.
approval of men. Why then are 5 to 10% of women between the ages of 18 to 25 on OnlyFans or other prostitution websites? Between the age themselves to the approval
How
of men.
many?
Why then are 5 to 10% of women between the ages of 18 to 25 on OnlyFans or other prostitution websites?
But where does that number come from? That can't be fucking right.
There are more online prostitutes in America than female Walmart employees. 1 of 3 women will catch an STD at some point in their lifetime. 90% will catch HPV, which is incurable.
From men. They catch these things from men. Men don't get symptoms of HPV and spread it willy-nilly because they don't give a fuck with peace and love. We are Walmart.
Feminism has empowered women to abort 1/8 of the world population and
Good. We do not need more people. We don't need more people. Fuck.
1/3 of Gen Z. Feminists have been so empowered to commit paternity fraud. Paternity fraud is unpunished in any state in the USA or any country in the West. If done correctly, a man will have to pay for a child he was fooled into believing was his until that child reaches maturity.
Get a paternity test and then you don't have to pay for the child. It's not hard.
In some states, that man will also have to pay for that kid's college. That is
What is on this back page? It's like very big writing.
slavery and is forbidden under the 13th Amendment.
She's saying that deadbeat dads are being treated like slaves.
1/3 of paternity tests are negative by the American Association of Blood Banks. Feminism has empowered women to rob men of their time, their resources, their reputation, their children, and in the most extreme cases, their lives.
Men actually kill women at an alarming rate. The most common way pregnant women die is getting killed by their male partner. If she's gonna blame suicides on women, Yeah, that one woo is crazy. That's what's crazy is like she's doing all of this and men still fucking hate her.
They do this through child support, alimony, false allegations, and paternity fraud. How many people in this arena have a brother, a father, an uncle, or a friend who has gone through this meat grinder?
Yeah, it's what are they, like 5 people in a Sheraton ballroom? All these men's rights activists, losers.
Anna has been on the air for 15 years and is completely oblivious
20.
to these issues.
Woo!
It's a silent genocide.
A silent genocide. Saying this to an Armenian woman sure is something.
Of the lives of millions of men. Standing on the sidelines of the arena, I have 33-year combat veteran Terrence Popp. He served through 3 wars and was almost killed in 2. He got married, had 2 children, and served in the United States Army.
Okay.
Terrence Popp was deployed to Iraq in 2004, and as a member of the airborne infantry, he was wounded by a roadside bomb and suffered a TBI and a stroke from the blast. He was evacuated out of the country, and it took over 2 years.
What does this have to do with anything?
Until he had recovered. While he was recovering, his wife was plotting to divorce him. His wife murdered his 6-year-old chocolate lab out of spite because he filed for divorce first.
What? And this is how all women are.
He confronted her. The response he got was, "I told you I did not want you living here." At this point, he was forced to leave the marital home and live out of his car. The divorce took away his home, his children, and left him penniless and saddled with a child support payment he could not afford. Terrence had to pay
He's gonna kill that woman.
$44,000 over a 12-year period for a divorce that his wife was empowered by feminists to plan and execute. Terrence went into court to fight for 50-50 custody. Terrence was called a murderer and an assassin in open court.
This random uncle getting roasted. This man is living in his car. This fucking homeless man. Yeah, exactly. Why did she want to divorce him? Why did she want to divorce him?
And was given 96 hours a month with his children. 96 hours a month is not a father.
Were you abusing your children and your wife?
While homeless, he spoke to many other men who would never get off the streets due to child support arrearages and penalties, and the men constantly getting arrested for unpaid child support.
Which they did nothing to deserve being kicked out of their homes, of course.
The disparage of losing his children and his home, and his PTSD and constant pain from his wounds, he became suicidal. While at his post in 2008, a former commander of his came to see him to secretly say his last goodbyes. The next day, Mr. Popp's former commander put on his dress blues and went to the Holy National Veterans Cemetery and blew his brains out. Terrence Popp was notified of the death and was shocked because he was planning to commit suicide in the exact same manner.
What the fuck? All right, I'm skipping ahead. Let's get into it.
Raising children that need more than
friend fight for. I don't need data. How many people?
All right.
Why is it that you seem to have a problem with men carrying out their responsibilities, but when it comes to
men are dying to care about their responsibilities. Men are fighting to be a part of their kids' lives.
She is so weird about this divorce thing. She is so weird about this. When in reality, most men with peace and love, most men who are getting divorced fight for custody so they don't have to pay their bitch ex-wife any money. It is not about seeing their kids more. It is about control over their children and financial control over their ex-wife. That is what it's about. It is never about, I want to see my kids. We men are the real oppressed group. Exactly. Well, yes, Lychee Poo, they always lean on the outliers, right? It's insane. The Sheraton ballroom, you're like that. So many men treat having kids like a puppy. No, like getting a live houseplant. Exactly. And most of these deadbeat losers, bitch, if they have to pay a cent past the age of 18 for these kids that they just love and care about so much.
What's the empirical data on that?
I don't need data. How many people in here have had a family or
That's not data, you dumb bitch. That's fucking anecdotal.
A friend fight for their kid and not be able to get it.
Why? You know, Pearl, narcissists aren't really ones to report their own wrongdoings or take accountability for things. So when you're talking to these men who are complaining about their bitch ex-wives, they probably aren't being forthcoming. I'm sorry. A multi-tour veteran with a TBI was almost absolutely brutalizing his family. That's what fucking traumatic brain injuries and PTSD do to these guys that come back from war.
The reason that this happens, Anna, is because lawyers tell them not to fight because it's so expensive and they won't win.
Yeah, they won't win because they're fucking losers. And they're dangerous. Look at that guy that fucking got his kids and burned the house down with them in it.
So,
just out of control.
you have to provide, look, Pearl.
First of all, do you hear men in the audience trying to fucking participate? They cannot eat. Even in this setting, they can't just shut the fuck up and let two women talk to each other. Men are trying to butt into this debate. Do you think that would be happening if it was like Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro up there? No.
I am open to be convinced, but I need more than anecdotes. I need more than vibes and feelings. Because we're talking about something serious here. We're talking about raising children. We're talking about the shared responsibility of raising children.
They don't want the responsibility. They want the control. And they don't want to give their money to, like I said, their bitch ex-wife.
That, of course, includes the cost.
90% of disputed custody goes to women. That's not equal.
Because men unequally are fucking abusive and terrible. That's why I think it's 90 or maybe it's 70%. It's a large percent of divorces are initiated by women.
90%, that's a totally made up statistic. Where are you citing that from?
Nowhere.
Let's take a break there because our time actually ran up.
Nowhere. She had nothing. She made up a fucking statistic.
Of raising children. That, of course, includes the cost.
90% of disputed custody goes to women. That's not equal.
90%, that's a totally made up statistic. Where are you citing that from?
My butt, Anna. My butt.
Let's take a break there because our time actually ran up. Those opening interrogations are over. Let's take a moment here and debate, people debating the same. And let's begin the open debate.
There are consequences for it, especially when there's a court order for them to carry out their responsibility and pay child support so that child can be raised.
And what happens?
Do you think there shouldn't be legal responsibilities or legal consequences if they fail to carry out a court order to, you know, take care of their kids?
I've interviewed men that have paid millions of dollars in
Don't care about your interviews. Anecdotal evidence doesn't matter. What I need is actual statistic, empirical evidence.
She's like, well, I don't have that, Anna. God.
They should pay their child support. $441 is the average child support payment. $441.
Which is nothing. If you have children in your life, bitch, I could drop $441 on my niece and nephew in a weekend. Okay? Like meals, clothing, activities, gas. $441, that is what these men are fighting to not have to pay. They are not these dirtbag men, not other men that, right, whatever. But these specific men, these men's rights activists, they're fighting to not give their wives $400.
Instance. I mean, that mother has to go to work, right? Where's the kid going to stay while that mother is working? How is she going to pay for the
What happens to men when they don't pay child support?
Sorry, say that again?
What happens to men when they don't pay child support?
There are legal repercussions for not carrying out a court mandate to do something.
Do you think that fraud should be illegal?
Absolutely.
Okay. So why is it not illegal for women to fraud men on paternity? If a man
defraud, Pearl, the term is defraud, and it should be illegal. And what the fuck is she talking about with paternity?
Does not find out he's the father.
Sorry, y'all. Can you hear me? It like buffered for a second. It disconnected for a second.
Over the age of 2, he is on the hook for child support for 18 years.
As he fucking should be if that is his child. Just get a paternity test.
I don't know what the law is when it comes to that, but it's wrong. If you're lying about paternity, that is wrong, and there should be legal consequences
why
for
haven't
that.
feminists fought?
It's that simple.
Then why aren't feminists fighting for it, Anna?
Because feminists fight for women, obviously.
Right, that's my point, at the expense of men.
It's not at the expense of men. We aren't fighting in favor of fucking financial fraud. They're busy fighting for the women who get fucking beat up by their husbands and killed by their husbands and ex-husbands and boyfriends and ex-boyfriends and guys they went on one date with. I'm sorry, there are bigger fucking fish to fry, brother.
You guys want to believe women at the expense of men. Why isn't Amber Heard in jail?
What the fuck are you on? What are you on? Oh, hang on, this gifty didn't come through. Let me see what it says. Andrew, I pay $2,400 a month in child support. Only half of that is mandated. I do extra because it's so expensive to raise a child. Hell fucking yeah. I do not understand how men can pay $400. Holy shit. Thank you, Andrew. Shout out Andrew in chat. Be more like Andrew. Pay your fucking fair share. It's your kid.
Because of the Me Too movement, you guys pushed believing all rape victims, and now we have rape.
Amber Heard had to pay out.
Guys are like, yeah, I got accused of rape, and it was only kind of rape. Woo! Fuck Amber Heard.
A massive settlement.
Yeah, but why isn't she in jail?
You want her in jail?
Yes.
It's a civil fucking crime. What are you talking about?
Well,
He ruined
the
his
penalties for defamation are what the court's decision is, right? You want people to go to prison for defamation?
He had to go to 2 different countries to clear his name. Why isn't she
So fucking what?
in jail? He lost millions of dollars.
To be clear,
He is a millionaire. Why do you care?
you think the penalty for defamation is prison time?
I think the penalty for a false accusation is that the woman should get the same time that he would have gotten if he was found guilty.
Men don't go to prison for defamation.
And they also don't go to prison for rape most of the time. They also don't go to prison for rape most of the time. Oh, so it should be nothing? The punishment should be nothing? Great. Perfect. Nothing, and maybe also like a promotion at work. A new scholarship in college.
And see, this is the problem with feminists. You want all these freedoms, but you won't actually be equal.
I do want equality.
No, if you wanted to be equal, you would fight for 50-50 child support, no alimony.
No alimony. So again,
Oh my God, she just like short circuited. Hang on. She just totally lost her train of thought.
equality.
Did she have 2 rows of teeth like a shark?
No, if you wanted to be equal, you would fight for 50-50 child support, no alimony.
No alimony. So again,
Wow, she just had a fucking Mitch McConnell moment. Also, do you know mad men would get about 50-50 child support? They would be paying way more than $400 a month on average. If we want to count the fucking beans. 50-50 child support. They're already all right. So if men are not living in the house, raising the kid, taking care of all the bills for themselves and the children, men are already, by the courts, it's like 70-30, 80-20. Realistically. If $400 a month is the average, they are not coming anywhere close to even 50-50. They really think that men's child support is like 100% right now. That $400 a month, you can fucking flush it down a toilet.
Decided to
90-10,
forego
exactly.
working, decided to stay home to raise the children, and the marriage doesn't work out. She's got no income whatsoever. She doesn't deserve any
alimony. Women
alimony.
aren't even doing that. Number one, that's not even a women are not.
Yeah, but that's what you want,
And number
Pearl.
two, you have daycare.
A lot of women
You
do
have-
these days,
you
actually.
have daycare as a choice.
The traditional
Again.
women who want to stay home, they want to be traditional wives, and you trash them all the time, which I don't understand.
if
It
feminists
seems like
cared
women
about
can't do anything
equality,
right when it comes to you, right?
If
They're
feminists-
stay-at-home moms, they're
if-
traditional, they're
Answer.
I understand that you can personally attack me. That's
I'm not personally attacking you.
Where has she personally attacked her?
okay.
These are things that you have said on the record multiple times.
But if you cared about equality,
Okay, they need that $400 to start a new family with the fucking 20-year-old that they met at work.
you would care about false accusations. You would
I do care about false accusations,
No,
yep.
you don't.
You don't know me. What, you don't know what I care about.
Look, all right. Let's talk about rights that men.
Because she doesn't make her entire personality about like the 0.01% of false rape accusations. No, Pearl, I don't give a fuck about that because it rarely happens. And the only people who use it are people like you to manipulate situations.
do not have. Men do not have the right to be enlisted in selective service. You know, we have 125K men who were drafted and buried overseas. Think about that over a second. You talk about the oppressions
Oh my God.
of the past, but how many men died in World War I and World War II and had no choice? And yet Anna complains about oppression.
Yeah, we don't want anyone dying in war either. Does she have Marfan syndrome? That's a serious question. That was a serious question. Marfan. Marfan syndrome. Listen, I watch a lot of women's sports. Very tall women have a lot of them have Marfan syndrome, and she's giving Marfans, which is fine. But I'm just noticing it. Yeah, like feminists are anti-war.
Men do not have the right to face their accuser in court when they have a false allegation and for personal protection orders that strips constitutional rights away from the man.
Why is that? Because they have raped a woman and she doesn't want to be re-traumatized by them.
Women go before a judge and say they don't feel safe, and more than likely a PP order will be issued. The man was...
God forbid this bitch feels unsafe. I don't know why that would be. Meanwhile, men kill women by the droves every fucking day.
Not in court, had no say, has no defense, and does not get to face his accuser. That is done en masse, and many servicemen and first responders lose their careers over this because...
Why are so many servicemen and first responders being hit with rape allegations? Can we have a pause on that? Many service members are so a bunch of military guys and cops keep getting hit with all these fake allegations.
Because it strips a man's Second Amendment rights away.
Blah,
No fault.
blah,
Not
blah.
third of the there has been rampant discrimination, child pay, that are
Fascinating.
not enforced at the same rates between men and women. Women are more likely
women pay
not
child
to
support.
pay
Fascinating.
and are prosecuted for non-payment at lower rates. Men cannot opt out of parenthood. Men have very few domestic...
Can women opt out of parenthood? What do you mean men? Hang on. Are you fucking serious? Yeah, it keeps freezing. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. OBS keeps disconnecting for some reason.
Furthermore, U.S. courts do not require receipts to show how that money is spent by the custodial parent, unless there's overwhelming evidence of starvation, malnutrition, or severe child abuse. There are
Hold
numerous
on,
reports
pause.
of custodial
You want the
parents spending
government
the
to
money
check
on
receipts and
luxury.
see, like...
Let's let her respond to some of that.
Hold on, let's
Yeah, for
understand
real.
something. You want government to be so big that you literally have the government looking at receipts to see what a mother is spending the money on? That's insane.
I want no child support and no alimony 50-50.
Yeah, because you're crazy and you don't live in reality.
You want no child support. You said 50-50 child support earlier.
I want no child support and no alimony 50-50.
Yeah, because you're crazy and you don't live in reality.
That is because you're crazy. That is literally some fucking idiot in high school being like, we're going to have pizza every day if I'm elected president. It's literally just her trying to be the favorite of men and a specific type of men who have their children taken away, who have been accused of rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and of dodging child support. These are the kind of people, these are the kind of men that Pearl wants to be popular with. We'll get 2 proms, exactly. No child support, no alimony. You don't have to pay your bitch wife anything. They do not want 50-50 custody at all.
I want equality. I'm more of a feminist than you, Anna. Because I say if you want to vote, be in selective service. Be on the front lines just like the men are.
Conservative woman who's married, staying at home, conservative woman who's married, staying at home, raising kids, you trash them.
There's no such thing as a traditional woman. They cannot be traditional in 2025 because women will always have the leverage.
What does that mean?
What
does it mean that women will always have the leverage?
Women have child support to fall back on. Women have alimony.
See, when I'm talking about how Hasan always reverts back into these like rhetorical grooves, that is what Pearl does. Because they're both fucking dumb. They both rely on these rhetorical like this canned rhetoric in their brains that they can go, child support. Women have child support and custody.
So automatically,
10% of divorces end with alimony settlements.
And
10%.
And they go.
You just ignore the stats.
They
You
go
just move
from
on.
men to women. They go from men to women. Billions of dollars.
10%. That's like nothing.
I thought you said earlier that women are paying alimony.
Billions of dollars of wealth every year is transferred from men to women.
Mm-hmm.
So, as it fucking should be.
Based on what? Where are you getting that information from? You're just making it up?
Look, we have it. We're excited. We can get it to you at the end. You didn't want to submit. Where are your sources? You didn't want to submit them ahead of time. You did.
The Census Bureau, Bureau of Labor Statistics. I cited everything I mentioned. Pull it up. Pearl, the main thing I want people to understand.
How has she not gotten better at this? How has she not gotten better at this?
Okay, Pearl's gonna trash women no matter what. That's fine.
I'm not trashing
But
them.
my biggest gripe with you is you're discouraging people from entering marriages.
I don't tell men what to do. Sell me on.
You
okay,
advise
Anna,
men to avoid marriage.
Sell me on marriage. What do men get out of marriage?
That's sad.
Ew. Fucking incels. You hear them? Nothing. Men get nothing out of marriage. Ugh.
It's sad that people think that.
Why can't I just fuck my mom?
It really is. You get a partner, you get a teammate, you get to build a life together, and it's beautiful. I feel like misery loves company in this situation.
Yeah, for sure. Drag her.
And how would you know what you get out of marriage if you haven't experienced marriage in the first place? I'm not saying that as a personal attack. I really hope that Pearl meets the love of her life and gets married. It's not about that. But you trash it without really understanding what the benefits are.
So Pearl is like an incel. She's like not even like a female incel. She is like a male incel in a woman's body. She now doesn't even want the like traditional like family. She's gone way past that and now is like men should never get married. Like that's her audience now. She's honed in on that.
Why do we have phrases like it's cheaper to keep her?
Pearl.
Girl, what the fuck?
Answer the question.
Divorce is expensive. And by the way,
it's cheaper to keep her is such a fucking sexist thing to say.
On purpose to discourage people from getting divorced in the first place.
Why do we have phrases like happy wife, happy life?
Because it's true. Same with happy husband, happy life. I don't want to come home to an angry husband.
But that's not a phrase.
Do you have any other like?
That's not a phrase. Is it? Oh no! What a great fucking gotcha, Pearl.
Catchphrase or slogan you want to throw at me?
What do men get out of marriage?
They get a partner
that gains 25 pounds in the first 5 years.
Men get pretty fat too. I don't know if you've done a comparative analysis on that. They actually end up gaining more weight than their wives do. And who
One woman clapping. Men get fucking fat!
cares?
Men.
I mean, have a conversation with your partner. Encourage her.
How
Be
can
an adult.
How can
God, women just get fucking fat. Like, who cares?
men and women be equal?
Especially if she's giving you
How can men
children.
and women be equal when one is expected to die for the other?
Oh, you mean women who get killed by their partners at an alarming rate? Say it, Anna, say it.
I don't expect anyone to die for anyone else. I don't know what that even comes
Yeah,
from.
but men are willing to die for you every day. The men in the police force, the men in the military.
What about the women in the police force?
Yeah.
They're 10%, and they cause so
So
many
what?
problems.
Who cares what percentage women make up of the police force?
Yeah,
They're in
but
the
they
police
can't-
force.
they
My
can't-
sister-in-law's a cop, actually.
They can't do the same jobs. There's videos on the
should
internet
see my
everywhere of
sister-in-law.
women getting their guns taken because they're not
Her sister-in-law's a dyke, guaranteed.
strong enough.
Are you just making things up?
Yes. Yes. All right, this is a lot. Do we want to keep watching this?
Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously. Next question.
What is she on something?
Pearl, what are you doing? Like, seriously. Next question.
What is wrong with her? We got to go to the
Do you
member
realize
stream.
how good you have it in this country?
Absolutely.
All right, you know what? Do we want to watch the rest of this on Friday? We can watch the rest of this on Friday. And because we have to go over to the member stream and meet Carol. We have to meet Carol. I'm so sorry. You guys are going to love it. It is way better than this. It's way better than this. We will do this at the end of Friday, so people, maybe I'll do that. We'll do that while I do origami, so I can do two things at once. Okay? All right, I'm going to end this. I'm going to restart OBS so it stops buffering.
What the fuck just happened?
Hey, welcome, Jarhead. You are just in time. Smart move. Smart move. Yes, Angry Origami on Friday. We'll finish this because it is interesting. It's less brain sucking than I expected. So we will see you either over on the other stream or I'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.